Hello, my sweet dear magical friends. Welcome, willkommen to the channel of channels and another episode in our series, How to Win the Week Using Astrology. I am your host, Natalie, spelled N-A-T-A-L-E-E, and I will be taking us through the week ahead and the consciousness carousel that is the zodiac. If you have anything that you'd like to say, please utilize the live chat box as well as the comment section below to express yourself. Everything cool is on the Patreon, patreon.com/𝚃𝚑𝚎𝚢. Those are really great. Those tiers, once you sign up, you actually get access to everything in that entire tier. So I would probably utilize the Patreon for all of the digital downloads because you can always go back and fill them in, go back and fill in the journals from your camera roll, your emails, your text messages, and you're still going to get like the blooming of the value that comes with assisted astrological reflection. How did everyone do over the weekend? We're going to take a look at the week of July the 28th through to Saturday the 3rd. There's the new moon on Sunday the 4th. So over this weekend, coming into this week, is everyone still alive? How did everyone do? I want to make one little note before we do the overview, when we take a look at everything all at once, to say something about the asteroid Chiron, because it's a perfect point that I've been talking about when I talk about the asteroids and the fixed stars and all those things. So Chiron stationed retrograde on Friday, and I wouldn't pay attention to it. I don't talk about it. It's like I told you guys, I'm not like, you don't need the asteroids. They add a lot. They add the stars. They add so much. And I love the mythology. But as far as like practical looking at it, like we don't need it. But they're great to have. I felt it. I really felt it. I'm not sure if it's that we're on the Capricorn full moon, but that was like so big and loud and clear that now, moving forward, I'm going to pay attention to Chiron stations. And so I'm going to keep watching it, and then over time and maybe phase it into and add it into the things that I talk about. And that's what I would encourage everyone to kind of do, anyone that's studying astrology. That's kind of like the fun part, is watching it in action. Okay, so for the overview for this entire week, as you guys can see, I'm titling this video Organizing All of the Things, and that's really what we're doing this week. This week, we are on a disseminating moon the first half of the week. In the middle of the day on Wednesday, we go into the balsamic phase, and that's how we finish out the week. And these two phases of the moon cycle every single month have to do with closing things out, finishing, wrapping things up, and then resting, recuperating, relaxing for the next lunar cycle that's going to begin on August the 4th. So we have the sun trining the north node kind of like all week, basically. It's just going to go exact on Tuesday, and then it's going to maybe kind of like wane or get out of its way a little bit around the 2nd on Friday. So then it'll be in a separating aspect. Mars trines the south node all week this week. Mars also sextiles the sun with an orb all week this week until about the 8th of August. Then from Sunday to about Friday, Venus will be trining Chiron. And that means that healing is absolutely 100% on the agenda of what and how we're organizing this week. So expect to have to place your thoughts and feelings and the updates and the, everything going on. And like, it's going to be, you're going to have to find places for it. It's going to have to fit in. It's going to have to be organized. And then Venus is also squaring Uranus this week from about Tuesday onward. So that tells me that part of what we're closing out and premonitions or sort of foreshadowings of what we're starting up and the changeover that's happening on that bigger level is getting us out of a rut. It's something that liberates us from accepting or being used to and living in something that could be better, that could be so much more or different or in this or that. So it's I feel like it's going to be a little bit stressful because of that Iranian energy. Like we're the energy is like, let's organize things, let's calm it down, and let's find where everything goes and put it where it belongs, and then just like rest and prepare for the next the next thing that we're going to be focusing on in August. So that Venus Uranus, it's like there's whatever we are moving forward on is quite unusual. Venus Uranus is like Tim Burton stuff, like beautiful, but just sort of weird. So So there's that. So that's basically like the overview, looking at everything all at once in a nutshell. Let's go ahead and open up the week. Okay, so Sunday, the 28th of July, we have Mars in Gemini sextiling the sun in Leo. So, you know, we've had this last week. So it's like we're still doing it. We're still doing the thing. There's still now, because we're this far along with the sun, I mean, with the Mars Sun sextile, this is a wonderful source of vital life force that you can kind of draw on to get energy to complete the tasks and to move ahead on the thing. So we absolutely will be feeling energized. Some of us may be a little bit more sensitive, like fatigue and energy drains, specifically Leos and Cancers, because we're ruled by the sun and the moon. But generally, if you're feeling extra tired or like I said, fatigued, or like the energies are a little bit down, you want to take it very seriously, because even normal things could be even just take more out of you. So you want to conserve your energy and really use the power of this Mars Sun sextile to like zero in and accomplish, just be very pointed in the things that you're trying to do so that you don't waste the energy. Also on Sunday, the moon in Taurus will make a sextile to Saturn, which is progress. We're doing it, we're getting it done, we're moving forward, moving ahead. But the square to Venus does signal to me like a mood change. So there could be a little bit of like a want or a craving, or on the other side, overindulgence. So try to portion control on Monday. Then on Monday, the 29th of July, around 8 a.m., we have the moon conjoining Uranus in Taurus. This is interesting. This is like a boomerang from the 15th of July when we had the Mars conjunction with Uranus in Taurus. And so something about Monday, it's like I feel like Monday is extremely productive, but it's like because of something from the 15th. What was that? Like 2 Mondays ago. Wow. 2 Mondays ago. Something happened 2 Mondays ago with the Mars Uranus craziness. And so I feel like Monday, that moon crossing Uranus is going to be a little bit of a boomerang, or have something to do with maybe something that took place 2 Mondays ago, or you know what I'm saying? Maybe some kind of follow up or fallout, or however this is kind of coming up. But around 8 a.m., maybe some surprises, maybe some, you know what I'm saying, developments according to like maybe what may have taken place around Monday the 15th. The moon in Taurus will sextile Neptune in Pisces. So that's telling me that whatever was like developing around that day, the Mars Uranus, that how we're feeling about it Monday is either very spiritualized or very inspiring, beautiful, very Taurian, very much like, oh, wow, very cooling, very refreshing. Then the moon will move into Gemini and immediately make a trine to Pluto. Now, here's what's really interesting. So as these things are happening, that is also, that moon going into Gemini, trining Pluto, is also reminiscent of that weekend of July the 20th and 21st. So it's like that Monday the 15th, Mars Uranus, lots of people lost their heads. Some people kept their heads and were able to, okay, so that Monday, that whole, the Medusa, when I was talking about the Medusa stuff, that's like looking at Medusa outside. If you can look at Medusa outside, if you're outside of your own truth, if you're outside of the truth, you'll be turned to stone. But if you are in your own truth and you look at Medusa, you're going to see something with your own eyes if you're brave enough. And that's another thing I've been learning and seeing through all this. I'm like, oh my God, wow. So I feel like over the past 2 weeks, and even maybe that day, so like for instance, for Trump, it was like the day before when he almost lost his head, he saw something that's like, oh my God, right? So we all saw stuff that could have been, the reveal could have been a little bit grotesque. It could have been a little bit unsightly, but it could have also been rewarding if you value truth, if you value being able to see something. If you live your life that way, where you're, okay, I'm gonna be brave enough to see something, I'm gonna say, I want the truth. I don't care what it is. I just want the truth. You're brave enough, you can hold that volume. You can hold all of that and observe it. You have the capacity to observe it. If you don't have the capacity to observe the truth, it could just walk right in front of you back and forth, and you're not going to see it. So, and that's where we get like cognitive dissonance, and we have like mental breaks and stuff like that. So there's something about Monday that, maybe a reminiscent to that. And then the moon going into Gemini is that weekend. So think about that first weekend of the Mars Uranus. So that was July 19th, 20th, and the 21st. The 21st was the Capricorn full moon. What was going on that weekend? Because again, there's some kind of like memory, you know, it's going to trigger like the memory of that full moon weekend and bring up themes thematically that were important that you were dealing with around that time. Then around 7 p.m., the moon in Gemini squares Mercury in Virgo. So this is like, could be tech issues, Wi-Fi issues, connection issues. This is like a hint, a little bit of a hint of the August Mercury retrograde, because we have themes that we're dealing with in Gemini and in Virgo. So I feel like even though it's like a moon Mercury square Monday evening, I feel like it's really just like maybe some of us are just ready to think differently and get into the new groove. So we're like, this could be like brainstorming. It's either like brainstorming, or there's Wi-Fi issues or technological issues, or maybe even like miscommunications. Like you want to connect, you text to hang out, but then someone else doesn't get it until the next day, or it could be something like that. So I wouldn't take any communication mishaps too personally Monday night. Tuesday brings a lot of exciting energy. So guys, listen, the Capricorn full moon like gave out all of the goodies. Then Wednesday, the 24th, started the disseminating moon phase. Saturday, the 27th, was the quarter moon in Taurus. And so as we're coming into the week, we're like, we got the harvest and we're organizing where it goes. And we're cleaning up the tools, oiling all the tools, putting them in the shed for the next harvest, for when we work in August on the lunar cycle there. So Tuesday has this day of like whatever you got out of that full moon and whatever you decided that you're going to keep and what you decided you're going to put away or give away and kind of like, organize it. Now you are like concentrated on that thing. So you're not, you put the scraps away, you cut off the extra trim, and now you've got like the meat of the thing. And so on Tuesday around 2 a.m., if anyone's up, Mars and the moon connect. The moon will cross Mars in Gemini, rapid fire communication for anyone that's up. And then we also have Venus at 23 degrees of Leo, making a trine to Chiron at 23 degrees of Aries. This is very resolution-y type of energy. Change brings healing and vice versa. This is also the day on Tuesday when Venus starts in this square to Uranus. So basically, take care of business Monday, and then we're like full force into like the thing, and we're ready to change over. Like it's just happening. Change is just happening. We got to go with the flow here. But the Venus trining to Chiron, that is like healing a wound, it's like healing a wound, connecting with where we did not feel like valued or compensated or appreciated or trusted with leadership or trusted with childcare, or you want to take these like Leo themes and Aries themes and plug it right into that. So Tuesday is a beautiful day for feeling so much better about these things. And guys, I'm telling you right here and right now, with that Leo energy, that Leo needs so much attention. We talked about it in like that other video. So Leo needs so much attention. You want to give yourself that validation first. You've got to give yourself that love first. Go watch the Leo new moon magic video I did. Main character energy. I don't care. I don't care if you're the background. I don't care if you are crew. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to feel like the sparkliest in the Leo area of life. So you charge yourself up first and foremost. And as you do that, so when I started doing the subliminal self, the inner child healing, that's what I did. Like, I would do that, and what would come up for me would be like all kinds of like moments where I just thought about when I didn't get what I'm giving myself right now, when it takes you to that memory, blah, 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 right? So like, we get it. So go ahead and like feel what you got to feel, do what you got to do, and keep calm and carry on. So also on Tuesday, we have the moon in Gemini sextiling the sun in Leo. That's lots of creativity, lots of options, ideas, plans, fun, friends, kids. Tuesday looks very social, communicative, healing, appreciative, forward. There's something about like the forward momentum, because the Gemini moon will trine the south node in Libra, getting us some support, or maybe pleasantly connecting with some familiarity or familiar people. 10 a.m., the sun in Leo will trine the North Node in Aries. And that is like, we're committed to the future. There's no stopping this train. We're committed to the future. We're like full steam ahead. We're making a lot of headway, a lot of progress to a new prominent direction. So you really want to be brave on Tuesday, even if there is something healing coming up. And when there's healing, there's a recognition of the pain. There's an acknowledgement of the wound, and the balm goes on it. And you know what I'm saying? So if you need to do a lot of healing, if there's a lot of healing for you to do, get into my YouTube and look for the video titled How to Heal and Move On. I tell you, step by step, for free. This is something that I really believe should have been taught in schools. Like, everyone should know how to do this. And so look at that video, do all of the things, and you'll get there. Everyone that actually does it, it works. So all you have to do is actually do it. A lot of people will view that video and be like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then they don't actually do it. So actually do it. Don't just watch the video and say, oh, that's cool. Oh, that would work. That sounds legit. That makes sense. No, you have to watch the video, and then you have to actually do the things that I say to do in the video. And then it heals you. And it heals you because that's how you're able to heal your subconscious mind. How do you heal your subconscious mind? If you can't see it, understand it, go to the video, How to Heal and Move On. So the moon will also conjoin Jupiter in Gemini on Tuesday. Journal for the 14th of August, and then come back later and see what blows up. Moon in Gemini squares Saturn, retrograding in the sign of Pisces. Hong Kong, like mature thoughts and feelings. And so I know we're all having like issues with the Saturn and Pisces stuff, because it's really, this is like the epitome of like that cognitive dissonance. Like when something, like these two different parts of your brain and ideas and thinking, and they just like clash, and it's like your world is spinning. And so, you know, I'm sure that people are having really a difficult time reconciling emotional truths with concrete realities, and also maybe even concretizing emotional truths. And then on the flip side, Saturn and Pisces being like a jackhammer into the emotions, and like, you know, solidifying certain things and then unsolidifying other emotional things. So I feel like Tuesday, when the moon squares Saturn, that could just be where we're, you know, wanting to run before we walk a little bit, kind of getting like too excited with the Gemini moon, and like, oh my God, all these options, oh my God, this and that, and getting really excited, but also emotionally. So there could be just like a mental, emotional moment of adjustment that maybe you need to mature up to a level, or you need to psychologically understand something emotionally. Like, this is almost like if someone's going through some emotion, you have no idea why or what this is, or so maybe someone's explaining to you like autism or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there might just be something that we don't understand, that we're like learning about, but having like a little bit of a learning curve getting it, or maybe maturity, something like that. Wednesday, we have the balsamic moon period that starts. So the balsamic, okay, so the last quarter moon, real quick, last quarter moon was Saturday. And that is when we are, it's like a 3.5 day period where we're kind of putting everything away, like I said before. Or like in 300, when they're like finishing up like the remnants of like people, they're cleaning up the remnants. You're cleaning up after the party, you're cleaning up after the harvest, you're taking all of your tools and you're cleaning them and putting them back where they belong. You're making sure the tools are all oiled and protected, put away in the shed for the winter or something. So it's just like a time that we're finishing up things. And in the Taurus area of life, it was like values, possessions, and, you know, we go through it for all the 12 zodiac signs, but it's challenges and obstacles at that time, like over the weekend, are meant to be taken care of internally. There's an emotional adjustment. It's a time of emotional and psychological acceptance. So the challenges Friday or Saturday should have been an internal adjustment. It's a crisis in consciousness. So you weren't meant to like do anything. You weren't meant to like, you know, that's the first quarter moon. So it's a time to close out old business. The changes you got to make are internal, and you're not supposed to go try and change anybody else, or try to change the thing, or try to change the situation. So it's a time to close out the old business, reconciling, accepting peace within yourself. And now, and that was a quarter moon, and it lasts about 3.5 days. Now you're in Wednesday. And you're in the balsamic moon phase. This is rest and reflection. So this is a 3.5 day period. It's going to take you from like Wednesday to the new moon on Sunday. And it's the quietest, it's the most spiritual time of the lunar cycle. So it's best to be like alone or having a lot of privacy, going deep within yourself, or being with people that are maybe more naturally internally reflective, or just like calmer type of people, low maintenance type people. And just it's you might not even feel like going out and socializing a whole lot anyway. It might be really easy to just stay in and hang out. But it's a time to go in and take a good, honest, thoughtful look at yourself. And you really do want to judge for yourself honestly, between you and yourself, what worked over the past month in this lunar cycle and what didn't work so great. And it's the time to focus on planning for the next lunar cycle, or planning for the next goal, or planning for the next milestone if you have like a long, big goal for yourself. So think back to July the 5th, around July the 5th, because that is the time from July the 5th until the 4th, but you're going to have these 3 days to really sit with it. So this is when you want to journal and really think about it, go through your journals, your astrology journals, my patrons, my 𝚑𝚘𝚗𝚘𝚗 patrons, and you want to take a good, honest, thoughtful look at yourself and judge for yourself what worked, what didn't work, what you harvested, what you've gained, what you've learned. This time, this quality of time is very much akin to, like, let's say you live like in the wild and you plant and you eat what you grow. And so this would be the time of the year that you live, you know, you're living off the land and you harvested and you've cleaned up all that you've done. And now for these 3 days, it's like you're in the winter time and you're sitting home alone and you are there with whatever food that you've already gathered and stored and done all the work with. So metaphorically, it's like you are looking at your life and you are either pleased with your efforts, you're like, I'm eating good, I have a variety, the spices are popping, everything's great. Or you're looking at your results of your efforts and your attention and you're like, oh my God, like I'm missing vegetables here. Like this wasn't canned right. The whole thing is rotten and ruined. And like, oh my God, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the mistakes and the oversights and the misunderstandings, the regrets, the all of that stuff could be eyesores over these 3 days from Wednesday to Sunday. And you want to meditate on them, even though they're eyesores, even though you don't want to look at them, so that you can plan better for next time. That's why it's a little bit more introspective. So if you were maybe on the happier side of how some things happen, then maybe just focus more on like, okay, this is what went really great and more of that. And this is what I'm looking forward to and planning for the next cycle. On Wednesday, we have the moon in Gemini sextiling Venus in Leo. This is very laid back, very fun and relaxing, but very stimulating conversationally. Moon in Gemini squares Neptune and Pisces. That could be like a go to bed early energy, or like an energy drain, or something that could be like the conversation goes in like a different direction. Oh, that's 8 o'clock p.m. Okay. So 8 p.m. is when the Gemini moon will square Neptune. So that would be a good go to bed early energy. It's like you might just be so tired, like it just hits you out of nowhere or something. Or there could be like the Gemini moon is so connection oriented, wants to talk and think all the thoughts and everything. So the square to Neptune could be like, okay, it's time to go to bed now, or it's time to settle down now, or it's time to, you know, or it just could be really creative. You could be really happy and excited. Like sometimes like a moon Neptune square for me will be like, I watch a movie I've seen literally millions and millions of times, but like for some reason I pick up on something or I get inspired by something. Okay. So personally, this is why I love movies more than theater. I know everyone's laying it on all the judginess. It's okay. So I love, and I love filmmaking. And so I love movies more than theater, because when you go to a theater, it's a different show every single time. And when you watch a movie, I'm different every single time. I've grown and changed. That movie is still exactly the same. I know when they're going to drop the punchline. I know when the actor is going to make a funny expression. Like I have all of it memorized, but like I'm different. So I could have a different reaction. I could see something that the writers wrote in like subliminally that I didn't pick up on because I was too little, and I get it now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it could be all kinds of different things. So um But anyway, so on a moon square Neptune, I could be watching one of these movies that I've seen millions and millions of times, and then just something inspires me, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. And I'm all creative about it and loving it. So it could be a great movie night, or just, like I said, like an energy drain where you just need a little bit more rest. Then the moon will enter Cancer, quincunx Pluto retrograding in the sign of Aquarius. So that's pretty intense emotionally. I would say you maybe discover new ideas intuitionally, but powerfully with other people or about other people. So it could be the quality of the connection that you're connecting with somebody else on, that it's like potent and deep and big. So there could be trying to, there's almost like an emotional shift that's trying to happen. So it's like we're organizing everything out, we're closing everything out now. Now we're in Wednesday. So Wednesday forward, it's like there's nothing else to do. Wednesday forward, there's not much else to do. You're thinking and feeling and like baking, not baking like you're getting ready to be the cake, but like you're just closing out. You're just kind of chilling for a sec. So it's like you're done with the organization, and on this energy, this is an emotional shift. A new option opens up, but it may feel like emotional tension. So for instance, this could manifest like there's maybe you want to go this direction, someone else wants to go this direction, and you let's say you and your sibling have been fighting so much in the back seat of the car, and you just started getting along again, and now there's a big divide between you again, and it's like, okay, we just got to peace. We just arrived at a peaceful moment. Like, but we both feel very strongly about this. How are we, it looks like tension, but it's actually an opportunity. It's actually the grass is greener. It's actually the great eliminator angle, where the opportunity is to eliminate that, whatever that is between these two siblings, like not once and for all, but like in a big, deeply, deeply powerful way, so that you can take the new path that opens up. So it's like, okay, well, we're not going to both get our way. We're going to agree on a third way, and it's going to be great for both of us. And now we're a team. Now we're working together. Now we're partners on stuff here. Now we can start doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So there's some kind of emotional, something there. But I'm telling you, it's to eliminate something crunchy, especially with it being Pluto. So this can connect to, this doesn't have to be anyone that you're talking to in your physical life either, because it's Pluto. It could speak to the masses. There could be a discomfort emotionally with what you're seeing on social media, with what you're seeing out in the world, with what's happening in the friend group, with what's happening in the family, because it's the moon in Cancer. So there could be family dynamics, friend dynamics, but also social group dynamics as well. That's kind of like weird. Or I'm telling you, it's something new and wonderful you can discover intuitionally, but you've got to submit to the Plutonian level of honesty and transformation, and be willing to alchemize and turn something into something else. The Cancer moon will also sextile Mercury at the end of Wednesday, which promotes and helps communication happen. So it's going to promote communication to happen and make it possible, but also very positive. So it looks like Wednesday is like, we're tired. We're like, or see, we can be tired, but not tired. Does that make, I hope that makes some kind of sense. But certain issues could be tired. So certain people, I know I'm going to be tired, a little bit sleepy. I'm going to be a little sleepy girl, but it's like certain issues for some of you guys can just be tired and just closing out. But you don't have to be physically tired. You just might be. You might be. You have a higher likelihood if you're the sun or the moon, if you're the Leo or the Cancer sun, moon, rising. Okay, this might be my favorite day of the week. So Thursday, the 1st of August, we have at 6 a.m. Mars in Gemini, trining the South Node in Libra, very resolution type energy. I love this because this could be ancient allies coming through to bring support to the situation or to your life in some way, shape, or form. Now, remember that this is happening all week. So the Mars trining the South Node is happening all week. So there could have been ancient allies that you're working with and talking to all week. This is just perfecting and is hitting the highest peak point on Thursday. So use this support and be the support as well this entire week. People working together, love it. Moon in Cancer squares. Okay, so the moon in Cancer is going to make a little T-square, squares the south node, north node axis. You already know this feeling though. This is not unfamiliar. Think back to July the 5th. July the 5th, that new moon in Cancer that was conjoined with dog star leader Sirius. I love Sirius. I love that. That's like my favorite. Sirius is my favorite. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you why later. I'll tell you why later. Um, this is the leadership energy. So reflect on that new moon weekend, July 5th, 6th, 7th. Reflect on the whole lunar cycle, because there may be a little bit of a decision to make and how you're going to feel about something or how you're going to direct things to go. And you're going to want to go and lean in towards the Aries north node. So if you're feeling emotionally insecure about anything or there's anything happening, go to the north node in Aries, which means be brave, take a risk. This whole energy favors taking the risk, with the north node being in Aries for this year and a half. It's going to change over soon, but for the past little while, it's been like, okay, let's do this since, what was it? I think April 2023. So anything that comes up Thursday, just be brave and be confident. Then also on Thursday, we have the Venus in Leo square to Uranus and Taurus. This is why it's my favorite day, because I am a Venus-Uranus person. And so Venus-Uranus is, like I said, very Tim Burton. This is like Edward Scissorhands, where it's very beautiful, Winona Ryder, Johnny Depp, but there's like this tragedy. There's this sadness where he can't hug anybody and he's got scissors for hands and everybody doesn't like him. After they pretend like they do like him, they just all turn on him and stuff, and he has to go back and live where he belongs, but then they chase him to where he belongs, so then he has to. You should see it yourself. Go rent it. Edward Scissorhands. So a Venus Uranus is very strange and different. So here's my advice. I'm a Venus Uranus person. Take it from me. What this so Venus is like love and appreciation and value. Uranus is wanting to elevate to the next level, but because we are still in the former state of consciousness, we experience it as a shock. We experience it as a jolt. We experience it as like an uncomfortable surprise. Like we experience it like very, very, it's like discovering like a new food that's really spicy and you're like, oh my God, but then after a while you're eating it and you're like, I like it. And then you start putting that spiciness on all of the food that you eat after that or something. And it's like, then it becomes normal. It's not a big new thing anymore. Now you're putting it on everything you eat. But the first time you tried it, it was like, oh, wow. Damn, that's kind of like Venus Uranus is like that first, like, whoa, very, very like shocking. So take it from me, be open to surprises, be open, just generally, just be very open. And I got this from my telekinesis teacher. Be nonchalant. It goes so far. I can't tell you how far it goes to have a sort of nonchalance with some of this stuff. So with Venus Uranus, just be open and be nonchalant. And then whenever the thing happens, that you're like, I'm thinking of the scene in the Royal Tenenbaums where he's like, and anyway, when the thing happens and you're like, just be curious about it, whatever it is. Try to get into the, oh, I want to learn more kind of an energy. Because like I said, this is a balsamic moon. We're ready to get, so this could be, it's just coming at a very interesting time. And we're going to have squares, like the Mercury retrograde is going to square Uranus 3 times. It's going to be part of steering the Mars energy in August. So rethinking, not just rethinking, but acting differently and taking different actions and behave, so this little area, like especially like the end of Leo, beginning of Virgo, Mercury is going to like go over, and then with the Taurus energy and Leo, Virgo energy, and then Gemini energy. So all of those little areas are kind of tied into place. So Venus, Uranus is breaking open some new asset or a new value, or appreciating something as beautiful later, but right now it looks ugly. Right now it looks scary. Right now it looks shocking. Right now it looks averse. Right now people don't understand it. Right now people don't get it. But they're going to love it later when they get used to the idea. They're going to appreciate it later when they understand it more. They're going to really enjoy it later, you know? So we're going to come back to this energy is what I'm saying. Like, it's not just going to be like a one-off Venus Uranus that it's like, oh, that was weird, and then move on. There's something that July is showing us that's changing, that we make the change in August, and then September, October, November, rubber meets the road. Friday, the 2nd of August, we have the moon in Cancer trining over to Saturn retrograding in Pisces. This is a very serious mood. Friday is very serious. And then the moon in Cancer will also square Chiron in Aries. So we might be irritable. Things could be painful. Be careful of like what you're saying to other people, because people could be very sensitive, and I would say be very careful of like wounding, like other people's wounding. Like you make a remark and they've been struggling with this insecurity for like a really long time, and you're like insensitive about it, and you just said it off the cuff or something, you know? So just be very, very mindful of like what you're saying and the mood and people. This might also not even be you or in your situation. You could actually be observing someone else going through pain, someone else going through something kind of wounded, or someone else might seem very wounded to you. Like you could be comforting someone that's going through something. So, you know, it doesn't have to be like negative. It's very serious, but I feel like there could be some nurturance happening. But this is nurturance that's like a serious talk. This is a nurturance where you're not going to just like lie to someone to make them feel better. This is a nurturance where it's like very not, it's not at all heavy-handed. This is just more like a sober conversation. Maybe you're just giving someone realistic advice about something they're going through, or they're sharing something with you and you're like, wow, this is, you know, real stuff here. So just be very mature about it. And if you're the one receiving the help and the guidance, you got to not just be oversensitive, okay? Because this could be something where someone's trying to help you, like the moon in Cancer trining over to Saturn and Pisces. Someone, maybe they're older than you, more mature than you, more experienced than you. They're trying to help you. They're trying to help you. So don't take it like they're criticizing you. Don't take it so personally. Don't take it like, you know what I'm saying? You want to take the help that if someone that is more mature or experienced that can help you with the perspective, if they're being kind enough to stop their life and give you those words, be grateful and say, oh my God, thank you so much, and internalize it. And it's going to help grow you up and mature you. You're going to have to confront some wounding and some pain, but you got to do it yourself. So this is not going to be someone helping you when you're not already helping yourself. You have to be helping yourself first. Otherwise, you're going to feel like a victim. Otherwise, you're going to feel like they're mean. Otherwise, you're going to feel like they're not helping you enough, and you're not going to be grateful. So I said what I said. Saturday, the 3rd of August at 5 a.m., we have the Leo moon opposing the Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. That's like, I feel you can sleep through it. It's like early hours in the morning, but I feel like that's like a jump scare. That's like a jump scare back to July the 22nd on that Monday, the day after the full moon in Capricorn, because that's when we had the sun entering Pluto and sun entering Leo opposing Pluto. And it could be even maybe not, but Wednesday, but just in case anyone wants to look back in your journals, Wednesday the 3rd of July, Mercury entered Leo and opposed Pluto. The 11th of July, Venus entered Leo and opposed Pluto. And then the 22nd of July on Monday, the sun entered Leo and opposed Pluto. So you can kind of, this could be a jump scare, possibly back to any one of those days where there's a little bit of where there's a power struggle or an irritation or some kind of need to seize resources, or like an emergency phone call, or, you know, just something that And I would be kind of careful of what is coming up in your life and trying to judge it to see if there's like a true sense of urgency associated with it. Because this could be something that's a little bit like the sense of urgency, does it make sense? You know, that Venus Pluto could have been someone blowing up their girlfriend's phone millions of times because they're taking too long to get back from the store. And you know what I'm saying? Like it could be kind of like anything of that nature. So just be kind of careful with that. And then on Sunday, we're at the new moon in Leo, and we're going to do separate videos on that. So really, honestly, you guys, Saturday, that is the day. That's like the day to completely rest if you at all can. And so it's kind of crazy that there's like this jump scare energy with the sun, Pluto. Like that's really, really intense for a dark moon. So it's not the time to launch anything on a dark moon. You want to wait until after the moon gets a little bit of separation from the sun. We'll go over that later. So, all right, let's take it through the carousel of consciousness that is the zodiac. Hello, Aries, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, willkommen to your week ahead. For the Aries, you guys are organizing, putting everything in its place when it comes to all the support that you have in your life internally and behind the scenes. This is all at the bottom of your chart. This is all having to do with how you value yourself and your life, how you are communicating with your friends, groups, associations, and your lovers, and who you date, and that kind of thing. So, you guys want to really especially pay attention to Tuesday when we have Venus in Leo making the trine to Chiron in your sign. And then we have the sun in Leo making a trine to the North Node in your sign. So this Leo energy connecting to you in your fifth house is the best for true love, sex, dating, romance, passion, play, small business, healing your inner child, doing the subliminal self, inner child's healing, meeting new people, dating people, falling in love, being in love, spending time with your children, finding new things to do with your children, getting pregnant, having fun with your spouse's children, revitalizing a small business idea. But this is all about healing you up. So in all these different areas, sexuality, with your heart space, with your love, this is also, I feel like if you had ever felt or been feeling like you're not creative or not sparkly enough or cool enough or fun enough, if you had any kind of insecurities with this, this is going to be the week that you want to push forward in addressing them and trying to fix this up, heal it up, so that it prevents you from being jealous and alienating yourself from friends, groups, and associations, and help you avoid getting into power struggles with them as well. So for you, the balsamic rest and reflection energy is going to be even more so because the moon will be going through Gemini and Cancer, which is your fourth house. You're the natural zodiac. So you really want to think about your own feelings, your own thoughts, and how they have influenced how you speak and how you've been speaking to people and how you have done all the things over this past lunar cycle since July the 5th. And this is going to be the time from like Wednesday to Sunday that you look at everything you've reaped in these areas of life that have to do with your status, your parents, your bosses, your reputation. Are you happy with your reputation? Are you happy with your bosses? Are they happy with you? Are you happy with your career direction? Are you happy with the legacy that you're leaving behind? That was the full moon on the 21st. And it's a really big, important, impactful like full moon. But the second half of the week is when you want to rest and reflect on what you got out of it, your efforts, and what you did. And it'll help you gear up for your new moon to start over on Sunday, August the 5th. Thank you so much for taking up the mantle to heal up the Aries area of consciousness. I appreciate you. Hello, Tauruses, Sun, Moon, Risings. Welcome, welcome to your week ahead. You guys are organizing all of the things, everything you've got out of your belief systems for this week. You're organizing, putting it into place. Did you dream big enough? Did you believe strong enough? Did you have a belief system based on integrity? Were you honest with yourself about that? Because if you had been going on believing a certain thing or a certain process or in a certain way, and you were making accomplishments, you could have been reinforced to think that way until this particular full moon in Capricorn that may have showed you that it was actually incorrect, or that your that progress could have been undone, or that um you know in some way. But it really depends. For everyone's gonna be extremely different, very, very different charts, but it depends. So this week you're organizing, putting everything into place. You guys want to take a look at Tuesday. We're going to have a lot of Leo energy, Sun and Venus connecting to both the North Node and Chiron in Aries. So for you guys, this is massive progress being made intuitionally, psychically, emotionally, and in the home space. So some of you guys are doing big things in the home space to heal up any kind of, like, if there was events that happened in the home, I could see this being very healing for Tauruses, like fights and shouting and things like that. So if not physically in the home or physically with roommates or with physical family members, you could be also just planning something to launch, planning something that you're doing behind the scenes, maybe even in a home-based business, or doing something, changing your payment processors. And, if it's like an online business, I can see this connecting very nicely with that as well. Then you're going to have on Wednesday to the rest of the week, the balsamic phase for you guys. You're going to be resting through the Gemini Cancer area of your life, second house and third house, and really kind of like reflecting on your morals and your integrity and your belief systems, but through lenses of values and the mind and the speaking. So I want you to go back, not just for you, I would say not even just this one lunar cycle. Like, this is a big area of life. Like, you want to kind of look at all of it. Look at all of it. Were you doing the right things for the right reasons? Do you want the right things for the right reasons? Do all the things. This could even be issues with foreigners, or have to do with foreigners, or have to do with like a visa situation. And so it's like very karmic, having Capricorn on the ninth house like that. So for Tauruses, there's also going to be the Venus Uranus square on Thursday, August the 1st, with Venus in your fourth to Uranus in your sign. This is kind of weird, where there could be like someone and the family acts out in a way that really surprises you. It could be a roommate that acts out in a way that surprises you, a female, woman, or family member that acts in a way that really shocks you and surprises you. You see a new side of them that you didn't think was there, and you're like, whoa, that's weird. Or wow, that's amazing, So or you're just like infusing some fresh new energy. Maybe you get another pet. Maybe you move somebody in. Maybe somebody's moving out. Maybe there's just changes happening, like that kind of thing. But it's pretty shocking. It's pretty big. So hopefully it's all in the right direction, because you're going to be needing to rest into a new moon in your fourth house anyway. So for you, this could be a wonderful little revitalization in the home life, that you're going to be focusing more on in August. Thank you so much for taking up the mantle of the Taurus area of consciousness, and enjoy your week. Hello, Gemini, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, willkommen to your week ahead. Okay, so you guys are going to be organizing, doing all the organizing things. Okay, now you have most of the organization, all the things taking place in the third house of the mind, the intellect, the ideas, the conversations, community, local neighborhoods, siblings, extended, like second cousin type people, and the Aries 11th house with Chiron on the North Node connecting to the Leo third house, the Sun and Venus. So friends, groups, associations, older siblings, goals, dreams for yourself. You kind of are looking at where everything is going into place, probably with other people. So this is the week for Geminis to really connect and talk to the other people, the friends, the associates, making the plans, doing all the things, and saying, okay, cool, this is what, and even to just make the contact and just kind of talking. But also, this is going to be from your own mentality. So you are going to be organizing your own thoughts of what you think about things, how you're seeing things, the information, even more crucially important for you. I would be looking at all of your intel gems and getting more intel and organizing all of your intel. From Wednesday to the end of the week, we have the balsamic moon phase of resting and reflecting. We're gearing up for the new moon in Leo on Sunday. And for you guys, it's you, it's Taurus, well, no, it's mostly you and Cancer. So you guys are more personally involved in this. So you're going to be really resting deeply and reflecting deeply on your values. And you can think back, what did you get out of the full moon this month? That was your 8th house. Did you heal? Did you move on? Did you let go of some baggage? Did you pay off a loan? Did you pay off a debt? Did you take on a loan? Did you get a mortgage? Did you get some kind of like healing therapy done? Did you get closer to somebody? Did you, become more intimate with someone? Or did you feel something? What was the big feeling that you got? Like you got some big 8th housey transformed. Did you transform your life in some way, shape, or form bigly this month in July? Did someone cut off their support to you? Did you were looking at them for support and they cut it off from you? Did you cut off somebody else's support? Think about all these things. Over the balsamic moon phase, Venus in Leo will square Uranus in Taurus. So I would say that's going to be the surprise communication that's shocking to your psychology. That's going to be something that rocks your boat a lot. That's going to be something that stirs up your subconscious, maybe in an uncomfortable way, maybe in a comfortable way, maybe in an uncomfortable way. But that Venus in your 3rd house is like, this could be that you see maybe some girls running around like in the neighborhood naked and she's like addicted and in pain, and you feel like, oh my God, we got to help this person, but she's like violent, and it's really like you got to call somebody and people are calling people and it's like traffic is going this way, and you're like, that could be something that Venus and Leo, that feminine energy, but disrupting you psychologically, or triggering some kind of subconscious something in your subconscious is getting triggered with that Venus Uranus. How long does that last? Let me see. So that's going to start as early as Tuesday, but it's going to hit on Thursday. And was there anything else I wanted to say? Yeah, you guys are just organizing. What did you get out of the full moon? What did you get out of this entire month? Rest, rest, rest. Decide what you want to keep, decide what you're ready to let go of. You should have done one of the bigger releases of the zodiac, though, with the 8th house full moon in Capricorn. Big, big, big deal for you guys. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for taking up the mantle in the Gemini area of consciousness. I appreciate you. I couldn't have done that. I appreciate you, and have a great week. Hello, Cans. Oh my God. We made it, right? We're making it. We're doing it. This is just such a big, oh my God. We're organizing, putting everything where it belongs this week. And you, more than anyone and any zodiac sign, want to really be kind to yourself. If you need more rest, if you need to sleep more, if you need more water, if you need more shorter breaks, if you need longer breaks, if you need to do less work, if you need to reorganize the structure of your schedule, like, we're moon sensitive people, and so this was an extra potent month, so everyone's nerves are probably like a little bit fried a little bit. So okay, so this week we're organizing lots professionally and financially. We've got the Sun and Venus and Leo in the 2nd house connecting with Chiron and the North Node in the 10th house. So we're looking at the relationships this entire month, organizing where everything goes, and this week making the adjustments in these areas of life. So money and finances, your legacy, what you want to leave behind, that's where we're working. That's where we're closing out, finishing up things. We also have Venus squaring Uranus. That's going to be from Tuesday forward, but it's going to hit on Thursday from Leo to Taurus in the 11th house. This is going to be, I'm a Venus Uranus person, and I just don't know. Like I said, I always take my own advice, so we're going to be open about it. But I do want to prepare you that this could be letting go of a friend or a woman friend that shocks you and surprises you in some way, for better or worse. It could be like, oh my God, she's amazing, or oh my God, she's lost the plot. Like it could be something that's like she's gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, or she's gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like it could be, we'll see. So be careful also with money and friends. They definitely do not mix this week. And be careful of largesse, like big spending. And, this might, if it's not financial, it could have to just be something to do with how you're seeing your future, because you're gearing up at like Saturday. That's like the darkest dark of the moon. You're gearing up, like, okay, how did the relationships go? Which ones really stepped up to the plate? Which ones really faded away? Which ones blasted away? Which ones fell apart? Which relation, all the things, and meditate with it. But be very honest with yourself, Cancer. Like, yes, all of that, of those people and the relationships, but you're going to get the most out of this, and you're going to win the week when you really, you know what I'm going to say, when you really look at yourself and take responsibility for your own perspective, your own emotions, your own efforts. Okay. That's really where you're going to get the best of it, and to assume the responsibility of being the one to choose the partner, being the one to choose the person, being the one to make those decisions, that no one's doing it for you. You're the one doing it. So, okay. Okay. So yeah, this whole week, you're closing things out. The balsamic moon from Wednesday to the end of the week is happening in our sign, 12th house, and our first house. So it's even more of a downtime. It's even more private. So it's even more like we need rest, or behind the scenes, or working behind the scenes, or writing if you're writers, and getting it kind of done, and thinking and cogitating. And then, like I said, Saturday, the dark moon, you have the new moon in your sign, Friday, July the 5th. And so you're going to want to really meditate deep into yourself, everything about you, everything about you, everything that you love, everything that you love that went well, that you did for yourself in July, and the things that did not go well, that, that were you centric, that were from you. So, that's why I'm saying, like, you could change your perspective. Like, oh, I thought this was really good for me, but it wasn't. And so it's like, use that time and really meditate into it, so that you can best prepare for your new moon on Sunday in your second house of not just like finances, but self-love and self-worth, self-value. Power to every single one of us. I love you guys, and have a great week. Hello, my lovely Leo, sun, moon, and risings. Welcome, welcome to your week. This week, you guys are doing a lot of organizing personally, because you've got the sun and Venus in your sign connecting with Chiron in the North Node in your ninth house. So you guys are organizing paperwork, anything having to do with visas, immigration, travel, learning a lot, learning opportunities, maybe getting things ready to do some speaking, or some, maybe if you are being invited to guest speak on something, you may be this week preparing for that. This can also have to, if it's not that, the energy gets pulled maybe to a foreigner, or someone that you are traveling with, or gurus and guides and mentors, or if you are going somewhere, putting those travel plans together. This is also like a lot of work for you guys on a conscious or unconscious level when it comes to developing your worldview. So, like, if you're doing this and you're doing it through, some kind of educational pursuit, you're studying, doing like a lecture or class or university, it could be that, but it's going to be something that has to do with broadening your perspective on the world and in life. So there could be some things that you're doing, but there may be other things this week, I'm just saying, that could like further inform you of, oh, life is like this, really? I didn't think that was possible, or something like that. Because from Tuesday forward, and it goes exact on Thursday, the 1st of August, Venus is squaring Uranus. Venus in the first of your first house, squaring Uranus in the 10th house. So I see a woman or a feminine energy causing like a major disruption to the professional sphere or the professional life. If that's you, then maybe you might be doing something that, this is going to go one or two ways. You're taking a risk, and you're doing something that's going to be a shock right now, but they're going to love it later. Or you're doing something right now that's a shock, and it's like totally inappropriate and completely falls flat and blows up in your face. So you really want to lean into the energy of expanding the worldview and your perspective, so that you can think how other people think, and that you can empathize with other people, and try to steer that Venus Uranus square a little bit better, so that you don't like alienate people, or alienate your VIPs, not managers, but like that you don't alienate professional associates. From Wednesday to the end of the week, we're in the balsamic moon phase, very restful, very relaxing. And for you guys, you're ruled by the sun. So you're more sensitive to the moon cycles every month, just like the Cancers. And for you guys, the balsamic phase is happening through your 11th house of friends, groups, and associations, and then the Cancer 12th house. So you're going to be kind of closing out and meditating on and just kind of accepting a little bit like life direction changes and your own mental health and your own faith, your own belief systems. This is kind of a big faith. This is an interesting week for Leos and faith this week. Also for Virgos and faith this week, I would say, and beliefs. So for you guys, that Saturday, you are going to have the dark moon in your 12th house. So it's even more about faith and God and spirituality, what you believe, you know, what you accept, what you don't accept, psychic experiences, dreams, dream life, all that stuff. So you're kind of putting things to bed and to rest so that you can gear up for your new moon on Sunday, August the 4th. So for you guys, you are going to be spending the week organizing your belief systems based on what you got out of the full moon in Capricorn on the 21st, but the entire lunar cycle in July. That full moon is in your 6th house. And so, you know, you're wrapping up, maybe saying goodbye to coworkers, managers, immediate supervisors, or a way of life, or a ritual routine, or some part of daily life got cemented and it's going to be a daily life thing, or it got done with where it's not going to be a daily life thing for sure anymore. So I actually spoke to my colorist who's a Leo, and for her, it was her dog dying, and it was like an older dog, and she was just like doing a lot of work every day to keep this dog going and keep him alive. And she's like in her 20s. She's like in her early, I would say like early to mid 20s. She's been married since I think like high school, and she's been taking care of this dog since she was like, I think maybe totally guessing, like maybe like 21, maybe around there, or 18, 19, something like that, but like old dog. So you think a very, very young person, and even younger, because a Leo person, you guys are just like forever young, right? So, but having that responsibility, that dog taught her responsibility. It taught her how to have a daily routine. It taught her how to be efficient. It taught her how to, you know, wake up and be consistent and do all the things. And the freaking dog died on this Capricorn full moon, you guys. And it was so funny because the dog died, and then my appointment was like 2 days later, 2 days, or no, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe 3 days later, something like that. And so, you know, at the end, she's like, I think it was like meant to be that you came in, you know, like I talked to you after, you know, this happened, you know, but she doesn't, okay, so here's my channel. I want it to be that anyone can like click in and have a great experience and still understand like what's going on, but still be entertaining and valuable for the seasoned psychics and the seasoned astrologers that like hanging out, right? So she's this is, you know, she's my colorist. I did not meet her in some like woo woo group or anything, right? So she's so basically that day I could tell, I'm like, okay, I'm Saturn's in my 3rd house. I'm there for her, right? Well, there's this moment where her dog talks to me, her dead dog talks to me. And I told you guys, I don't want to do the mediumship thing. I don't want to do, I'm not, if you have one psychic ability, you have them all. But like, no, I'm going to leave that for like Matt Frazier, and I'm going to leave it for all those people because they do it amazing. And I love watching them do it. But the dog talked to me and told me to give her this message. And so I gave her the message, and like but I didn't say that. I didn't say like, oh, I have this message from your dead dog. You know, I just like, you know what? I know that dog was so happy to be taken care of by you, Natalie. And her name's Natalie, like me. And so I'm like, I know that dog just loved it because you take care of people. Like the way you take care of me is so like special and different. She does things like no one else has ever done, like in a salon, to take care of me, like really make me like happy and comfortable and help me feel like every time I go in to do my hair, like I'm myself again with this long blue hair. Like that's who I am. So she helps me just like be me. And the way she does that is so like loving and considerate and caring. And guys, I've been to a lot of salons. I've seen people have done me wrong more times than I can count. People have cut my bangs like uneven. Like people have just really just gone out of their way to not take care of me, right? And so, or people have been like lazy, or people have taken me and my kindness for granted, or mistaken my kindness for weakness, or you know what I'm saying? And she's just like perfect. She's really perfect. Love her, very, 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 just love her to pieces. And so I got this message, and so I'm like, I know this dog just love getting taken care of by you, because no one's gonna love that dog better than you. No one's gonna treat him better than you. No, you know, and he loved it. I know he loved it. And so it's like there's something about it. So it's like a whole little thing. So I'm gonna say, like, whatever that full moon was, like, you're done, Leo. You don't have to work so hard. You already learned it. You already learned how to wake up early and make your bed and do the things. You already learned it, and you can let it go. You can just like, you know, so this week for the Leos is going to be organizing the belief systems and the faith and the philosophies and the this and the that. And the Venus Uranus, like I said, that's going to be as early as Tuesday, the 30th of July. Going to peak on Thursday, August the 1st. Just be a little bit careful with that one, because there could be something very public, like you're in this, not in the spotlight, but maybe in the spotlight, but like something's going on where you're like visibly going through something shocking, or visibly doing something shocking. So just trust yourself to make sure that that's Uranus wants to raise the vibration. It wants to make it better. It wants to do more. So this could elevate your career if you step out of your comfort zone. Or if there is Leo energy that's been misdirected, that's when you spin out of control, or that's when there's like an ugly shock, or that's when there's like an ugly kind of like, whoa, you know, kind of a snap. So, all right, Leo, I think it's going to be great though. Have a great week. And thank you so much for taking up the Leo area of consciousness. I appreciate you. Hello, my lovely Virgos. Welcome, willkommen to your week ahead. This looks really kind of fun and cool for Virgos. So you guys are organizing, closing out everything from your Leo 12th house of like secrets and behind the scenes energy. It's very spiritual, very psychic, but just very behind the scenes. Like writing, for instance, is behind the scenes. So, I mean, my mom's a Virgo. I say that like almost all the time, but like very much like writing behind the scenes. It's a behind the scenes like profession. So you're going to be doing a lot of that stuff. It's connecting with Chiron and the North Node in Aries in the 8th house. So I see you maybe collaborating or talking with a therapist, or working on organizing everything out to become closer with somebody else. And this closeness is very healing for you. You guys are organizing everything you got out of the full moon in Capricorn, the 21st of July. So for Virgos, this is the 5th house of like true love and sex and dating and romance and passion, play, children. It's your creations. You're creating children, you're creating novels, you're creating artistic masterpieces, you're creating sculptures, but it's a small business, you're selling something on little earrings on Etsy, you're creating something. It's your own little brainchild or something. So this week, you guys, like I said, what did you kind of get out of it? And you're going to be meditating on that more towards the end of the week, specifically more so on Saturday. And on the way there, you're going to be doing a lot of developmental work, psychologically, spiritually, emotionally, and healing up a lot of, I would say, maybe where there was like, not like an estrangement or anything, but I would say this could be healing any, like, I would say if there's like a Virgo that was insecure about being creative, this could be very healing, where you're sharing, you're creating something because of your experiences, and because you're allowing yourself to be honest and create artwork from that place of honesty, and you're accepting that you're going to do it, you know. It could be overcoming something like that. Or if there was some difficulty with a child or with children, this could be very healing. You're closing out some energy that's very healing with the bond between you and that child. So this could be really, really great for Virgos. Now, if you look at the middle of the week to the end of the week, we're in the balsamic moon phase. So we're really, for you, it's healing out career stuff and friends, groups, and association stuff. So it's like you want to meditate on your career, your legacy, your professional path, your role as a spouse or a parent, and your friends, groups, and associations, your life direction, your trajectory, maybe plans for retirement have maybe been updated, anything like that. That's what you're meditating on. And you want to see like, okay, like, did I do my best as a parent this month? Or did I show up professionally this month? Or, you're going to be meditating on that and you're going to be deciding like, oh my God, I did it. Yes, all of the cans have herbs in them and all the foods in the storage and nothing's rotten and spoiled and all the tools are in the shed. Like, you may look at your harvest, Virgo, because you guys are the ones that are all kind of perfect and pedantic and very detail oriented. So you guys might be like, okay, I did do this great. I really did. I did great here. So, but you're going to be meditating and feeling it out like towards the end of the week. The Venus Uranus square perfects on August the 1st, but it is going to be felt from Tuesday going forward. That's going to be Leo, your 12th house, to 9th house, to your Taurus 9th house. So there's refreshing energy psychologically. This could be something where it's like there's a bright, brand new idea or some kind of different approach to, maybe you take a class, like an online class, because this is like mentors and gurus and guides. So I see Virgos being put in a maybe surprising kind of position to be mentored or mentor others. But there's something either psychological about this. Maybe this is a breakthrough in therapy. Maybe this is a spiritual guru that kind of says something like, wow, or does something, or your teacher kind of just like dips on you, or your maybe your professor, you're learning a language, you're learning something, and they like show you they're kind of erratic, or they have an emergency come up and classes like rescheduled or something. Like, there's something. So I would say, just like I said, stay open. And for you, this is very, very subconscious. This is in your house of the subconscious. This is behind the scenes. So for you, it could be a woman that supports you, or a benefactor that supports you, or that people that support you behind the scenes could kind of like surprise you or shock you this week. And it'll have to do with something that you're getting out of the full moon from the 21st. So for the Virgos this week, I would say really you're going to want to reflect and like organize your thoughts and feelings around your bonds and your boundaries. Did you like date the right person? Did you love the right person? Did you do the right creative thing? Did you parent the right way to that child? Did you know what I'm saying? Like, you are going to be, that's how you're going to be feeling. And over that weekend, like Saturday night towards like the end of this week, and you're going to be kind of like trying to heal through that, because you're here to merge and bond with another person while the North Node is in Aries and we have Chiron in Aries. So all you have to do, Virgo, is just pick the right people. And it's not even just like the right people, but it's like picking the right things to bond with. So, if you are, you're dating someone, but they have shitty ethics, is that really going to work? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or if you are working on a project that, I don't know, that maybe there's something weird or unethical or not in complete alignment with you, like, but it's really Capricorn in your 5th house is really lucrative, or maybe you have taken the wrong position with one of your children, and you may, be having regrets about that and saying, oh my God, I did that whole thing wrong. And you know what I'm saying? So you're going to be kind of reflecting on, did I make the right bonds? Did I bond with the right people and things? Did I put up the right boundaries with the right things that I want to keep out of my life? And am I aligned? Am I in alignment? This is, like I said, kind of spiritual for you guys. So that's how you're going to be feeling and thinking. And then you're going to be ready for your new moon in Leo in the 12th house, which is, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it then. All right. Virgos, have a great week. And thank you so much for taking up the Virgo area of consciousness. I appreciate you. Hello, my lovely Libra, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome to your week ahead. This week, you guys are closing out, organizing your relationships. Like, this is all about the people, all about the people. This is, this week you've got Venus and the sun connecting in Leo, your 11th house of friends, groups, associations, like the future of where things are going, connecting with Chiron and the North Node in Aries in your 7th house of partnerships. So this is the week when you want to focus in these areas, do the deep healing, whatever is, whatever is the thing, who's there, what's going on. Because from the middle of the week onward and the balsamic moon phase, it's more of like a resting period. And for you guys, it's going to be in the areas that have to do with how you see life and how you see the world. It's your Gemini, ninth house of morals, ethics, integrity, philosophy. Could also be mentors and gurus and guides and teachers. And then the dark moon in Cancer is the 10th house for you of reputation and legacy, parents, you as a spouse, and professional achievements. So you're gearing up for your new moon in the 11th house. It's going to be a brand new start with a goal or a friend group or a friend or a online, if you do social media, maybe with your brand or something. But on Wednesday is when the balsamic energy kind of starts. So if the energy dips, that's why the sun, Venus connecting with Chiron, the north nodes, that's like staggered like all week, basically hits on Tuesday. And then most of the week, starting from Tuesday forward, Venus will square Uranus and Taurus. So this is your 11th house of friends, groups, association. That Venus is over there making the square to Uranus. So in your 8th house of like baggage and bonds and boundaries. It's a deep, intense, sexual, enmeshing kind of house. It's like the baggage we share with others, where we don't let grudges go. It's where trauma gets stored, and it's where we have a relationship to change. So that's where the crises live. So all the crises we lived in our lives, especially the things that were like came out of nowhere that blindsided us, we feel it out and work through it through the 8th house. So for you, it could be a friend, a woman friend or a feminine friend that does something that makes you either angry or jealous or bitter or resentful, or I mean, it could be that there's that some that a friend that there's a that a friend becomes a sexual like partner. Like this could be where a friendship becomes sexual very fast and very like immediately. That's like the best it could, like that's a very optimistic, because this could be where there's like a friend hits on you and you don't like them that way, or you hit on a friend and they don't like you that way, or you know what I'm saying, there could be some kind of like there could be something like that, um if that applies, and then but this can also be something with a resource falling through that you just don't have, you know, that Venus Uranus shock that you thought you were sharing with somebody else, and it's boom, they're pulling it out and they're going to go do something else, or they're going to, you know what I'm saying, like it's something that or maybe not even like a person, this could be like something gets defunded, you have some kind of goal or dream or something that you were going to do with somebody else and it gets like defunded, or there's some kind of lack of like resource or something. So um, so that's going to be kind of like rocking you this week. That could be a little bit of something. And then, yeah, that goes exact on Thursday. You're going to be feeling into on Saturday night, the 10th house of career and legacy and ambition, and, you know, where, how you are as a parent, how you are as a spouse. But, you know, what you got out of the full moon in Capricorn, what you got out of it was in your 4th house of home and hearth and kith and kin, but like your emotional seat of security. How do you feel like emotionally about things? How do you feel? Do you feel like you have like an emotional groundedness where you can kind of like take on the world and do anything? There's some kind of emotional reality that was emotional truths, big, bright reveals. And Saturday, the 3rd of August, that's when you're going to be really feeling deeply into it. Like, okay, all that I got out of it. And then what did I use it for? Like, did I, maybe you moved in with people, you moved out, you had big moments with the women in your family or mothers or motherhood or, you know, living situation stuff. This is like you're closing out and saying, okay, did I get what you want to think back to July the 5th and ask yourself, like, did I put my efforts out the right way? Did I act and think and believe and speak from a place of emotional security? And am I happy with everything? Am I happy with all the results and all of the things? And then you're going to be gearing up for your new moon in Leo, looking at your future in a different way, looking at, you know, your friends, groups, and associations in a different way, or just moving forward. And so you want to like think and journal and meditate on Saturday so that you can kind of help you prepare for a brand new, fresh start after that. Okay. there anything else I want? Honestly, it is going to be the Venus-Uranus square that kind of gets you the most, because that's just going to be something unexpected. So, like I said, just be very open-minded and nonchalant, nice and nonchalant. Like, you know, this is actually even, as I'm leaning back, this is even better for Libras to be the nonchalant, because you guys had this full moon in your fourth house of home and hearth and kith and kin, that you want to be the most nonchalant, so that anything that does come up, you can treat it with curiosity and emotional security. To be like, okay, well, whatever it is, it doesn't matter, because I'm so like a rock in my emotional confidence. Thanks for that. Thank you so much, Libra, for taking up the Libra area of consciousness. Good grief. I appreciate you guys, and have a great week. Hello, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Risings. Welcome, willkommen to your week ahead. This week, you guys want to win the week through organizing your professional situation and your daily rituals and routines and coworkers, managers, immediate supervisors. You're trying to, like, it looks like you're maybe hiring a lot of people or working a lot, where all the work that you're doing is trying to like boost your career. So it's a very professional kind of a focused time for you, or you're working on your marriage, you're working on your business partnerships, that kind of thing. From the middle of the week, from about Wednesday onward, we're going to be in the balsamic moon phase, which is going to be kind of closing out everything that you reaping what we've sown from the 21st of July's full moon in Capricorn. So on the way, you're going to be organizing. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of traffic and flow between your professional aspirations and what you're doing in the day-to-day life to make that possible and make that achieve that. And so the little wrench of things could be from Tuesday onward. You might have a little difficulty focusing and organizing the people and doing the work I just explained, because Venus is going to square Uranus from the 10th house to the 7th house. And so there's a woman in your professional life. There's like a woman boss, or there's a woman colleague that surprises you and it's out of your control. She's doing something, or has done something, or is going to be doing something that shocks you. Or it could be like this woman and one of your partners. So there's like maybe some woman in the professional sphere, or like a woman, like a mom figure that's very powerful, or your actual mom, or your spouse if they are like a woman, and another person, or it could be like your partner fighting with your boss, or a parent fighting with the boss, or you know what I'm saying, like, or a colleague fighting with your partner. You know what I'm saying, like these people are, there's like some weird tension here. This could even extend to your professional sphere. If you post online, if you're on social media, or if you have a client-based business, there could be a little bit of a shock or a little bit of a kerfuffle this week when it comes to these people, or women in the professional sphere kind of jostling things around. So stay open, have a sense of like nonchalance. And then when the thing does happen, when she does do the thing, then kind of go from there and continue organizing and, working these relationships and using your responsible communication to fix anything that you may need to fix in your relationships. Because on Saturday, that's that's a very dark moon, and you want to meditate on the entire lunar cycle in July and see what you got out of it. And were you happy? This is your 9th house. You're like thinking about your goals, not your goal. You're thinking about your ethics and morals and your philosophies and what you really believe about life in the world. And did you speak from a place that you're comfortable with believing, that represents you? Have you been speaking in a way that represents what you really believe? And are they like aligned with your character? And how have you been conveying yourself? And how have you been presenting yourself through what you're saying? And have you been responsible in teaching others or sharing knowledge and sharing information? So this is going to be a good one for you guys. Just take the breaks that you need to take for sure this week. Okay. I love you, Scorpios. Thank you so much for taking up the Scorpio mantle of consciousness and have a great week. Hello, Sagittarius, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, willkommen to your week ahead. You guys are organizing all the things when it comes to your creative passions, creative passion projects, someone you're dating, things that you are doing for your small business, or child rearing your children. You have Chiron in the North Node here, and Venus and the Sun in Leo in your ninth house of gurus, guides, mentors, teachers, life philosophies, morals, and ethics are really working together with these guys this week. So this week, for you to win, you want to organize and mobilize in these areas to be creative and let your worldview expand broader and broader, because it's going to make you more creative and it's going to make your art even better, or share your wisdom with your children, or you know what I'm saying, those kinds of things. Now Venus will be squaring Uranus from Tuesday to the rest of the week, and that's going to go exact on Thursday. So Venus in your ninth house is going to square Uranus and Taurus in your sixth house of daily work routines. So there's maybe going to be a little bit of a disruption to the schedule this week. I would keep a light schedule for Saggies this week and see what kind of develops. It looks like there may be someone or something that is just new and different and surprising and unusual. And so just keep an open mind, which should be easier for you guys. I know. But yeah, you'll be keeping an open mind and you'll just have like this little nonchalance. And then when the thing happens, then just treat it with curiosity, because this is actually trying to elevate your daily life. It might be weird at first, but it could make your life better, and you could actually learn to like it and enjoy it and prefer the new daily life over the old daily life. And you're going to realize like, oh my God, it was so, wow, that's silly. So I would just say be open and just have the nonchalance. Now, from Wednesday onward, we're in the balsamic moon phase, which is a downtime. Everyone's like the energy, even Friday, the 26th of July, when Chiron stationed retrograde, was an energy shift. I really felt it. And I think I felt it this time this big because of the Capricorn full moon. But anyway, so everyone's energy could have seen a huge dip Friday, or felt like that heat. Like in the weekly, I told you guys it was healing. I just like, you're going to be healing, but like, oh my God, like, right. Everybody was probably like very, very, very. Anyway, so for you, you're like, the dark moon for you is going to be in relationships and the eighth house of bonds and boundaries and baggage and traumas and life transitions and all those kind of crunchy things that you share with another person. So this would be the time to kind of look at yourself and look at your relationships and look at your approach and your attitude towards relationships, towards bonding, towards like sharing with another person from the lunar cycle of July, starting July 5th with the Cancer new moon. And then you're going to see what you got out of it. What did you get out of the Capricorn full moon in your second house? So for Saggies, you're going to be wanting to reflect on your values, your value systems. Maybe financial change is also taking place, but more about the values, more on like ethics and morals and values. There's probably something that's cementing for a lifetime, that it's going to the learnings that you're getting about values and your value systems, that's going to last you the rest of your life. That's why this was a really big full moon in Capricorn. So you're going to be meditating on all that, but closing out like it's already done and gone and over, and there's nothing more to do with it. You're just kind of like processing it. And you're gearing up for your new moon in Leo in the ninth house. And we're going to talk about it then. So I think this is a fun one for you guys. So you enjoy, and thank you again for taking up the mantle of Sagittarius consciousness. I appreciate you. Have a good week. Capricorns. I just want to collapse in your arms and have you collapse into mine. Oh man, we did it. We're doing it still. It's still happening. It's still it's still happening. So here we go. Welcome to your week this week. I feel like I can always keep it the realist with us here. So let's take a look. Let's open this up. You are organizing the last little bits of your full moon this week, organizing where everything kind of belongs, putting the tools in the shed. Leo energy, our eighth house, your eighth house of transformation, sexuality, bonds, boundaries, finances, anything you share with other people, debts and loans and things. We have Venus and the Sun there connecting with the North Node, and Chiron in the fourth house of home and hearth and kith and kin. So, there was some psychic surgery. I'm telling you guys, when Chiron stationed retrograde on Friday, the 26th, that hit me like a ton of bricks. That really just like hit me right in the face. I was shocked. And so there could have been deep healing, but I always say the healing hurts more than the wound. So if you guys need to heal, go to my channel, How to Heal and Move. I'm going to put the link in the thing, How to Heal and Move On. That I tell you step by step how to heal and move on. And so you want to do that. That's what you want to do. And share it with anyone that you love, any family members that can also benefit, that also are maybe open minded to astrology, tarot, and whatnot. Because this is going to be a time for us when we're eventually going to have to really honestly look at these relationships and organize them as well. So the week though is going to be very emotional and very psychological and very much like, it's really strange having fire houses in our psychic houses. So it's like there could be rapid fire downloads and things like that. But it looks like you are also trying to, how do I, it's almost like there's a deal or an agreement coming together about a living situation or a family agreement, a family situation. So it's like, what are you sharing with these people? This is either family or roommates, okay? Family, roommates, maybe home-based business, maybe, but something like that. And Venus will be squaring Uranus this week from Tuesday onward. Venus in the 8th house. Okay, so this is either going to be great, amazing sexual fireworks, or it's going to be a nasty shock. I'm a Venus Uranus person. When I was a kid, people would like flash me or like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's like a grotesqueness or people would, it's people just always think they have sexual chemistry with me, every single person. And I do have sexual chemistry. I can fall in love with someone if I like them. I could become attracted sexually to someone if I like who they are. So, like Venus Uranus is a very strange like sexual disposition. So, like there could be something unusual sexually. You could be attracted to somebody and it could surprise you or but be careful with this. Like if you are attracted to somebody, like cool, great, but like don't maybe act on it on a Venus Uranus. Maybe Venus Uranus is when you see them or when they become real in your consciousness and you're aware, oh my God, this person, you exist. I like you so much, you know? So it could be something like that you discover, or it could be something in an existing relationship and an existing bond that disrupts the give and take. But for the positive, you can organize like how your intimacy works. You can organize, I don't even want to say like organize sexual orientation because I'm going to say, I would say like organize it up to what you know right now, but stay open-minded, but stay very open because there could be something that is good for you that you like, but you don't know it yet. Or it might look like something that's scary for you. Like if you like someone and they don't like you back, if your partner is going through something and they don't want to have sex with you right now, if they're, you know what I'm saying, like there might be something that looks bad and you might experience it as bad, but it might be better for you in the long run. Or if you're in an existing relationship or you're getting to know somebody and there's like a surprise or there's like a shock or something, it could also just make it better. This could be something that it's an elevation. So I would say just keep like a very open mind. This can also be overspending, financial surprises that are not great, or financial surprises that are great that you're getting like a perk or bonus, or you get to use the company whatever, you get to borrow $1 million at 0% interest for 1 million years. I don't know, something like that. So, you know, it could be something like that. But I would also just keep an eye on your emotional seat of stability and keep coming back to that. Keep coming back to keep coming back to like your home life, your living arrangement. Like if anything is weird this week or gets you kind of like unsettled, because that eighth house, it could even be that there's like a jealousy or that there's a bitterness, like an immediate hatred, an immediate jealousy. Like this Venus Uranus from the eighth to the fifth house, Capricorn, like it can go many different ways, but it's going to hit us like very, very like, you know, like a shock to the heart. And you're too late. You give love a bad name. So what song is that? So there's that. That's gonna be like Tuesday to the rest of the week. And then from Wednesday onward, it's gonna be to the rest of the week, rest, reflect, and like meditate. It's a down period. So for you Caps, this was our full moon. So we're going to be meditating through the Gemini, Cancer areas of life. That's daily life routine, what we're doing, who we're seeing every day, and then the partnerships and the people that we're with. So we're going to be meditating on this entire lunar cycle, which was extra about relationships for us. And that's what we're going to be analyzing. Like, and I want you to think about yourself. Like, did you show up fully in integrity, doing the right things, saying the right things, thinking the right thoughts for the right reasons, authentic integrity? And are your relationships reflecting that energy back? Because if they're not reflecting that energy back, then it's going to be tension. We can be different a little bit, like in partnerships and relationships, we can be a little bit different. That's nice and exciting. But if there's too much of a vibrational variance, then it breaks. And it's supposed to, because it can't sustain itself. That's why I say couples are always, you're always exactly with the person you're supposed to be with. Otherwise, it doesn't sustain. And I have had couples in my client practice that they've been a couple for like decades and decades, and they literally just hang on through every horrible transit, through every horrible progression. Like it doesn't matter. Like the biggest, even like outer planet squares and changes, like I've seen the most toxic of couples just stay together and ride it through. And they just go through just different periods of intensity with this stuff. And I'm not saying this as in that I'm judging my clients or that I'm judging couples that do that or anything like that. I'm illustrating an example so that you are most informed to make whatever decision you want to make. Because astrology doesn't mean that something has to happen, that an event is guaranteed to happen. Everyone has free will. It's a free will choice. So that's why I'm saying this, is that it's a free will choice. Like you don't you don't have to worry about breaking up because of astrology. Like you know what I'm saying? Like if you want to do something, you're going to do it. If people are going to do what they want to do, yes, you can use astrology for the ways that we're using it. But I just want you to look at your relationships and really, really look at yourself and all of them together and make your decisions accordingly, because this is the week that you've got to organize how you feel. You got to organize how you feel. You got to organize how they feel, and you got to reconcile this and figure it all out. Like it just looks like some heavy lifting on a week that is so like this is that Chiron stationing is like exhausting. Like I think people are going to be exhausted, even if you're not like a Cancer or a Leo. Like I think people are just gonna be tired. Anyway, so okay, so there's that. There's the Venus Uranus. That's beware protection, do all those things, and be very, very careful. I do like this for creative breakthroughs though. That is absolutely 100% the very best that you can get out of this is creative breakthroughs sexually, where sex life gets taken to a whole new level. And it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. This could be creative breakthroughs in anything that you're working on creatively. Maybe you were working on a book that you put away for like 6 months, and then you're like, you know what? I'm gonna doodle a little bit. I'm gonna like see what's up. I'm gonna do a little bit of like, you know, I'm gonna pick it up again, and you just start writing like out of nowhere, or so it could be, but it's gonna go like one way or the other. All right, Caps. I love you so very much. Power to every single freaking Capricorn out there, and have a great week. Hello, my lovely Aquas, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, willkommen to your week ahead. This week, you guys are organizing your relationships. So you are organizing the people and the discussions, the planning. And so a lot of communication for you guys this week. We've got a lot of the Leo energy, Sun and Venus connecting positively too easily, the flow, which means that nothing's stopping it. Okay, so trines are not always positive. I say positive, but I just want to let you know they're not always positive. They're positive in the sense that there's nothing stopping it, not positive like perspective. They're not always going to be positive perspective wise. They're always going to be positive, meaning that nothing is stopping the energy from happening. So communication is happening for sure this week, Aquarius, and that's going to be the bulk of your week is having conversations. Some of them going to be painful, but they're all going to be propelling you towards an education that you really need. You're trying to get more information and you're going to be getting it from finally from these other people from across the way. So that's going to be like the majority of the week. So you're closing out the full moon and it has to do with people for you and organizing your people and getting everything kind of together. Venus will from Tuesday to the end of the week be squaring Uranus in Taurus. So this is like a woman or another person is disrupting your home life or your family life or your emotional seat of security for some reason. Like someone else is like you're just feeling like some woman or some other person is like disrupting your life or there's something there. There's something where there's like a shock. It could even be a family member. It could even be someone in your own home and your own family that is just doing something like out in the world or in the relationship. But there's like shocks and disruptions in the home life, in the family life, and or in your emotional world. And it's because of people or another person or something someone else is doing. And this is going to be either really fun and liberating and exciting, and you get to elevate your relationship and you get to elevate your emotions and you get to like, there's like some new person that you get to have fun with and they're different, or there's like a new living situation, a new roommate, and that it's like fun and fresh and there's like new free flowing energy. Maybe there's even new family members that are going to be welcoming into the family and they're like different. They're going to be different, but they're going to be fun, different and fun. And so, you may get a kick out of it and really be down for it and ready for anything and welcome in, come on in, have a seat at the table. Or you might be, it depends your state of consciousness. You might be like, no, 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 no. So it depends. It's really going to depend. You know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say to be open and spiritualized and to have a certain nonchalance about it. And then when the thing happens, whatever happens, treat it with curiosity instead of judgment. Try to stay open that way. And you could get a great new best friend, or you could get a wonderful new addition to the family, or you could elevate. You could get a great new roommate they're goofy and weird. You just get a kick out of them or something, or you could move in with somebody and it's like a new different experience and you just really like it, but it's different. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be fun to kind of play around with. This can also be shocks that like it's going to go one way or another. Like it's going to be great or it's going to be kind of like something you feel like you've got to clean up or something. Like it could kind of just be upsetting and jostling because but we'll get back to that later. Just subscribe until you don't miss the notification of the videos that are going to be following up after this one. Okay. And then from Wednesday onward, we're going to be in the balsamic moon phase, which is rest, reflection. It's a downtime. It's chill time. We did all the things. We went out and conquered the world, and we did the whole moon cycle, and now we're just like incubating, reflecting, we're resting, we're meditating on everything that happened and preparing for the next adventure for the Leo new moon on Sunday, which will be in our relationship house. So it's very important that we meditate, especially Aquarius, because Aqua's this full moon in Capricorn was the second back-to-back in your 12th house of secret sorrow, self-undoing, psychic ability. And guys, I'm exhausted. I'm so exhausted and excited though at the same time. I'm exhausted and I'm excited at the same time. So what did you get out of it? Do you have more faith? Do you have more belief? Were there bubbles burst in your belief systems where you're like, oh my God, did a fear come up for you? Did you get over a fear? Did you get a secret out? Did you reveal something? You know what I'm saying? There's something like, what did you get out of this lunar month? Psychologically, spiritually, emotionally. Maybe there was support from behind the scenes. Maybe someone came through for you as a benefactor from behind the scenes, or you reconnected with someone that's like a solid presence in your life from behind the scenes. And so the end of the week, you get to kind of meditate into it in the Gemini Cancer area of life, your heart space. How are you treating your inner child? How to heal and move on in my video list in my YouTube, I explain in detail literally how to heal and move on. I take my own advice. This is how I heal and move on. And so the meditation could be really great for you over the weekend, like Saturday night, to really love yourself and do that work. Do the work in that video. It's not enough just to watch the video. You have to actually do the things in the video that I say to do, and then it works. So you could be doing wonderful inner child healing or sexual healing for some Aquariuses, and that feels amazing. So you'll be having some kind of nice, calm weekend vibes. And then, like I said, it sets you up for a new moon in your seventh house. And then you're ready to shimmy on into the Leo area of life and do a nice big reset for the relationships. Let's see, anything else I want to say? Nope. I think it's pretty simple. This week, it's really just wrapping it all up. Wrapping it all up. I love you guys. I love you so much, Aquas. Take good care and have a great week. And now for the grand finale, Pisces. Sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, willkommen to your week ahead. Okay, my loves, you are organizing. The way for you guys to win the week is through organizing on the very mundane, basic level, especially financial. We have we have the Sun and Venus in Leo connecting to the North Node and Chiron this week in Aries in your second house. So this is like a lot of action when it comes to your daily people, your staff, your rituals, your routines. It's how you show up into the moment. And so you may be moving money around, you may be moving people around, you may be hiring people, you may be, let me see. Actually, yeah, I like this actually for hiring people. This is like support staff. This is, the people that kind of populate your life, but also people that are of service to you. These are like your maybe, nail techs and lawnmowers, as well as agents, managers, immediate supervisors, that kind of thing. It's also day jobs. If you have a day job, this is great to make maybe extra money or just make good money at your day job. And if you have anything that you want to sort of sacrifice for or save up money and make it little, you're sacrificing something about your daily life now because you have a bigger value system, this would be amazing to close that out this week and it's kind of like cemented in, because that can go, that's the North Node in your second house wants you to rely less on your connections with other people, Pisces. So it could have been hard for you to get loans. It could have been hard for you to get access to credit, to get access to, you know what I'm saying? And that's, or you could have had falling outs with people or had big breakups. And that would have been because over the last, like, how would I say, when did these switch over? Yes, in some ways since October the 14th of 2023, but this could even have gone back as early as April the 19th of 2023 with the solar eclipse at 29 degrees of Aries, that you could have had these issues or been working on these things, or so even as early as then, there could have been like a falling out with people or breaking up with people or not getting access to shared funds or resources, because the nodes of fate are, the North Node is pulling all the energy to your second house, which is all you. So it's you making more money and not getting the loan. It's you creating more value instead of borrowing. It's you feeling self-esteem all on your own instead of who you're aligned with. It's you and your personal values and not what somebody else wants. It's you, you know what I'm saying? And so this has been very, very healing, painful for the Pisces with the Chiron here. So if you had like a hard like month or last couple months, Pisces, like I get you. I understand. I understand. Talk to me about anything. So, this is the week when, you want to infuse your self-confidence up. You really want to work on the values, the money moves, whatever you're doing, and take the lead in that area. From Tuesday to the end of the week, you've got the Venus square to Uranus from your second house to the Taurus area of life. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Venus in your sixth house squaring to the Taurus area of life, which is your third house. So this is like someone that works for you. Oh, maybe a woman doing something or saying something, because it's the third house of communication, that really freaks you out or shocks you or is very, very disruptive. It could even be news that you're getting maybe you get news through an employee or through someone. If you have like a day job, maybe you get news from a coworker and it's like very shocking. Or maybe you get a customer that like it's very, very shocking. Or you get communication about your daily life and daily routines that's going to be disruptive and you're going to have to change it all, So it's going to be like, for you, I feel like it might be more disruptive, but like on the mundane level where it's like actual physical things might get disrupted. Your schedule definitely will be disrupted. If it's not through personnel and people, it'll be through what you're thinking about. Like something is happening that you're distracted and you can't like focus. So this could be also in the neighborhood. There could be people involved in the neighborhood, or any cousins or siblings in the neighborhood that could all be part of what's shocking or unexpected. Or and some of this could be like positive, like maybe like this is trying to elevate your daily life, so maybe taking more walks through the park and maybe doing more calming fun things like that. Or this actually does not look calming at all. This would be like you infuse more glitz and glam into your life. This could be like maybe put more glamorousness into your daily life, or maybe there's like a glamorous coworker that starts working with you, or someone is something like that. And so it could be like shocking. There's something shocking about this, but it could it's only shocking because you just learned about it or it's happening right now. But once you get used to it, then it's like, ooh, I have this like, fun part of my day. And, or maybe your nail tech is really funny and entertaining and they do stand up on the weekends. And so, or not, maybe not the nail tech, maybe someone else you would see like every day and you're like, oh my God, you're so funny. I get such a kick out of you. And so it could be something like that a little bit. Leo is a sign of entertainment. So it could be anything kind of like entertaining, or they're just like that personality. Maybe they don't even care about any of that stuff, but they just have that like entertaining kind of personality. Really, really fun. On the flip side, this could be where they disappoint you in some way, where there's like an ugliness, there's like a grotesqueness, there's like a shock where maybe somebody quits or they throw off your schedule in a way, like not on purpose, but like there's something just a little bit. If it goes wonky, it could be something that is just disrupting your day, but for like the negative, where you're like, wow, that makes it really inconvenient for me, or wow, that's really crummy, or something like that. So you're going to want to take some time over the weekend, especially Saturday night, to rest and reflect. From Wednesday onwards, that balsamic moon energy, we're closing out. This week is very simple and basic. We're just wrapping up the very last of the full moon and preparing for the next lunar cycle. So you want to meditate on this past lunar cycle from Friday, July the 5th until now. And for you, meditate on what you got out of the full moon in Capricorn in your 11th house of friends, groups, and associations, and goals and dreams, retirement plans, all that stuff. Are you happy with what you got out of it? The moon is going to be from your 4th into your 5th house. So your emotions, you want to meditate on how do you really, really feel about your future, about your friends, the people that you're around, your goals, your associate, all of that. And your 5th house of Cancer. Are you really in love? Did you pass somebody up? Are you great with your children? Do you have a great relationship with your kids? Are you creatively fulfilled? Do you have a creative passion that is being neglected right now? All those kinds of things. You want to just like meditate. Don't do anything about it yet. You're just needing to meditate and really get the information and just get clear about how you feel about the past, what you got out of what you've seen and what you now know, so that you can just prepare for the future. Make your changes later after the new moon on Sunday. But this end of the week, this weekend, is just to meditate so that you've got the right plan first. And that's all she wrote. I love you, Pisces. Take very good care and have a great week.